Hello and welcome back to Spark Conversations. Tonight we talked about John 18, which talks a lot about loving your enemies. And through it, Peter, this is when the guards came to capture Jesus to put him up for trial. And throughout this, Peter cut off one of the Roman guards' ears, and Jesus proceeded to heal his ear back and show love and compassion. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So nowadays it can be kind of hard because obviously loving our enemies. Nowadays, what even is an enemy? Because that seems like kind of a very broad term.
Well, enemies are different at certain times, I think, because for sports example, the guys on the other team, that's your enemy, you try to win. But in school, for example, we had bullies, we fought with bullies, and that's an enemy too, right? It can be a lot of different things, I think, and so finding out what and what isn't is important to start off with.
That's good. I just personally feel like just throughout the Bible it talks about just loving people in general. So I hate putting the term of like an enemy on someone. Like, yes, someone may oppose me, I may get mad, I may see them as kind of just like the antagonist in my like own story. I don't like putting the negative term of an enemy because people can come around, people can change, and that's just something that can always happen. Like, people came around in Jesus' day, people can come around in our day. You just never know, and just trying to love them the same. But also with loving, like, I find people see it as too much of like a physical affection or something. Like, love can be shown in so many different ways.
You have to see, though, that loving somebody that opposes you, you love them different than somebody. Like, my love for you, Joe, is completely different than for my family members, right? It's not the same love that we show people. It's kind of the love that they deserve, I guess is a way of putting it. You're not cutting people down. Sometimes you gotta cut people out of your life because they're negative, and you love them in the way that you're taking care of yourself too, if that kind of makes sense.
So almost putting barricades between you so that, like, maybe if you're saying I'm a bad influence to you, you're a bad influence to me. So instead we separate each other as like a way of like, hey, I love you, but we need space for both of us to grow.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. So yeah, like, we all love other people differently, right? So the love doesn't look the same. Love looks different for people. Like, I try to love pretty much everybody I'm in contact with, but I don't treat or love people the same way, right? And we just got to figure out where and how to love people differently is important.
Got to find the right balance. So I have a question for you. Per se, you're put in Jesus' spot, obviously not like son of God or anything of that sort, but someone in your life betrayed you to the point where they just made a lie about you and like you're a fraud, and per se you got thrown in jail or something. Do you still think that you'd be able to love them? Or be able to forgive them?
That's a really big question. I've had people betray me in the past, and it hurt, and I maybe not have dealt with it in the right way at the time, so I think I would handle it differently now. But that brings me to a quick story of a song where a drunk driver hits this young girl, she dies, and in court, the mother from the child, she stands up and she's like, I forgive this man. I mean, he should go to prison, but I forgive him what he's done. And that's really powerful, because afterwards, when he got out of prison again, they went out and did missionary work and stuff like that. So I think forgiveness is possible. I'm not against it. It's different for people and how they treat you too, right?
Oh yeah, I personally, I find I would have a hard time. I'm horrible for holding grudges, and I hate it. But it's definitely where it's like, it just shows I'm human. Like, Jesus clearly wasn't. Like, he was able to forgive Judas. Judas traded him for some silver coins and was like, hey, you're going to die, and then left. Obviously, the guilt he felt was immense, and, he didn't deal with the guilt overly well. But I just, see as such a discrepancy between us and Jesus. Like, I couldn't forgive a guy who betrayed me within, the same room, especially if I were to know someone betrayed me and just be like, it's okay, you can eat food and have my food in my house. That is just incredible to me, and just shows how powerful Jesus' love is. The fact that he can love someone who's in the midst of betraying him. Yeah,
it's really powerful to think about it, that's for sure. No, I couldn't give a clear answer for that. I don't think I would be able to forgive right away. I would have to work with the person maybe, or talk to somebody in authority, like a pastor or something, and work with them through it, and a lot of prayer for sure. But I don't know how Jesus does it, so.
Jesus is a wonderful man.
Jesus is the one. No, yeah. It's crazy though that in John 18 that Jesus or Peter cuts off that dude's ear, and Jesus is like, hey man, I'm going to heal you. You're here to arrest me and kill me, because Jesus knew, right? Even in the prayer, he's like, I'm going to suffer, but this is for your will. So
yeah, I just find it incredible. Also, just the fact that God loves us is always something that I can't wrap my head around still. Like 18, still can't understand it. Like, put us on this earth, built us, he knows exactly our intentions, everything we're going to do, but then he still chooses to love us, despite some of our intentions may just be directly hurting him. Like, people like atheists, like, Jesus doesn't see them as any different than a Christian, but he still loves us all the same, and I just find that incredible. Like, he knows that they're against him and just have a burning hate for him, but yet he still chooses to love us. Like, it just blows my mind.
yeah, it is crazy to think about.
Loving our enemies can be difficult, but I feel like we both tried before, and how to go, and how do you show it?
One thing that I really tried to do a lot, and you probably know, is just kind of move on. When somebody wrongs me, I usually try to talk to them, figure out maybe what happened. Maybe they didn't realize they hurt me or something, and then I try to talk with them. And if that talk goes well, then I'd be like, hey, let's move on. If it doesn't, I'll move on anyways. I don't like to hold grudges. I don't like to hold on to things that are not really important in life.
Yeah, it's definitely for me too. I always try to have a conversation with them, just be like, hey, it kind of hurt, but maybe we can move past this still. And just, it can be difficult, and maybe you guys leave comments, let us know how everything's going, and just come back next week. You come to youth, maybe there's a question in the question box. We haven't done it quite yet, and maybe we'll get to a question like that. But
hello everyone, and today is now time for the segment, it's Random Facts with Josh and Mike. Mike is here today.
Howdy.
Howdy. So, fact. There's official ruling for how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. It officially takes 364 licks to get to the center.
That's a good fact.
That's a good fact, if I don't say so myself.
I have a fact. This is, I don't know, not sure how many people know this. It's really, I found out about this actually a little while ago, but apparently the surface area of Russia is bigger than the surface area of the planet Pluto. Or, well, not planet, but dwarf planet. Yeah.
That's a good fact, Mike.
Thank you.
No problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next challenge. We are calling it this night, Love the Band!
Wow! So here's how this is going to work for us this week, guys. We talked about loving your enemies. And so what we figured would be fun is to dump a lot of Mike's hot buffalo sauce all over our chicken nuggets, and our goal is to eat these without showing any discomfort. So if you show any discomfort and we can watch each other, then you're going to be pulled out, okay? Make sense?
This is going to be rough. Can I eat like all of them at once, or do I have to go one by one?
I think we'll go one by one. All right, guys, so we're going to start with round one here. Single dip, single bite. Well, I guess you have to eat the whole thing, but just a single dip. And we'll see about increasing it from there.
I am nervous. I am shaking.
Good luck, gentlemen. Think it's good?
And dip. Oh, Ryan goes big dip. I went little dip.
This is why you win these challenges, PJ.
Okay, there you go, a little bigger dip.
All right, and enjoy.
That's the whole thing.
Did you dip the whole thing in, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see anybody make a face yet.
Nope. So now, sideways dip. Get a whole bunch on there. Make sure you spin it around. Get it really soaking in there.
I don't know if I can grab it again.
That's great.
Just leave it aside. We'll get there later. Let it soak.
No, I'll eat it now.
Mike's feeling confident in this.
Mike is on
Alright.
fire.
You
Okay.
guys ready?
3, 2, 1.
2, 1. Nobody's doing too bad yet.
No, it's
All right, let's
getting there.
dump it in, and we'll do like the mic, and we'll flip it over, swirl it around, make sure you get like
All of it.
nice and covered.
Oh, this stuff feels weird on the fingers.
That's some juicy stuff.
I think the burn slowly builds, which is the beautiful thing. Is it all over your fingers, PJ?
I got a cut on my finger.
So this is extra good for you. All right, you guys ready?
3, 2, 1.
Is that sweat I see on your forehead, Mike?
That's from playing the games earlier tonight.
Oh, good.
I also might be grease.
All right, so this time we're going to do 2 double dipped.
2 double dipped.
So flip them over, and then you got to pile one on top of the other.
Kind of like a hamburger.
Yeah.
Chicken burger.
A chicken burger
Chicken nugget burger.
of spice.
Spicy chicken
Starting to
burger.
feel a little bit of burn. It's not terrible yet, but it's definitely
I
smiling.
am surprised in how little this actually burns.
All right, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1.
It's not that bad yet.
No, it's not too bad. This might have been just a delicious treat instead of a terrible challenge.
I just touched my eyes.
Okay, Mike's gonna regret that now.
It was
no
itchy.
doubt.
I still got it itching. Oh.
It was itchy, now it's going to be a million times worse.
Okay, so
All
what
right.
are we doing now? We're running out of chicken nuggets, man.
We are. I was expecting this to be like
A
just
lot
couple in.
spicier. So we're just doing 2 again?
Doing double again, yep. Next round we'll try for 3 if you can make it happen.
Yeah, well, there's 3 left, so we might as well do it like
All right.
the last 3.
Okay.
So these are getting like hard for me to hold on to. The conversation. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
I
3,
suppose.
2, 1.
Go.
I can see his eyes tearing.
They're definitely tearing.
Ryan is getting there. Ryan is close to losing it.
Man,
This is delicious, by the way.
I was seconds away from dying from coughing, but not from COVID, obviously. A little bit of the sauce went down my throat the wrong way, and it was like, guess what? I'm here.
So we're doing the last 3 here.
Oh, 3 at once. Yep.
I
See if
just
you
wanna
guys
say,
can.
This is amazing. This is delicious. I love the spice.
You never, Mike.
They can still hear it a little bit. It is. Yeah. Mike is.
Loving it.
Yeah.
He's loved, and we're eating McDonald's.
Yeah, this episode's sponsored by McDonald's.
All right. Are you guys ready?
This might be too big.
Man, I don't
Yeah.
know if my mouth
That's
can.
what's gonna make it difficult is
Chewing
3 drop
this.
at once. Yeah. All right. Ready? 3, 2,
Go.
1, go.
I saw that. Ryan definitely clenched his eyes and made a face.
I definitely did that. That was a lot of sauce and nugget all at once.
Mike and I are still.
So I think that means you guys got to drink your hot sauce. I'm just kidding. That's gross. Don't put your mouths on a McDonald's box.
No, that is nasty.
Well, I think the thing that we learned is the whole love your enemy thing. We were covering these nuggets in hot sauce, but the beautiful thing is when you get past the hot sauce, you
Oh,
get
the
that
chicken nugget?
that delicious nugget on the inside.
So good.
I think maybe there's a lesson in that for us to learn, you know? Even though it might be rough on the outside, the inside can be awesome.
Hope you guys
Alright.
enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you guys come back next week and put some comments, questions, something you guys want to see. Let us know.